Hi everyone, it's BigFriendlyWarGamer again. I'm going to be sitting and painting and talking and crap for a little bit, probably about an hour. It's 12 o'clock now, and we'll see how this goes. I generally just do a little wipe of what's on my table, but I haven't got a lot actual stuff that I'm painting on my table at the moment, purely because I had a bit of a tidy up at the weekend. But what we have got is my die-cut War Queen, who now has her base textured. I'll be hopefully finishing that later once it's dry. I've got 20 Necron Warriors, because I need to get these 20 Necron Warriors painted. We have various other models which are not undercoated, like my Interceptor Marines. I got Slime Elbow. I have, I can't remember the guy's name now. Grim Saint Fell-Handed. I can't remember his name. Not undercoated at all, so I won't be painting him. I have my new Cryptek, which he's not built. I've got a Demon Prince. I've got Grimnar on my table as per usual. I've got an old metal Necron Warrior, which I will get to a bit later. And like I said, I've got 20 Necron Warriors, who will be the majority of the painting for this video. Because I need to get them painted. I've got about 6 weeks now for the tournament. I need to get them done. And I should get them done. I should get these painted in about 2 weeks. Hopefully. So yeah, generally what I do in these videos, I talk about the week I've had. And I've been off work, so it's been a fairly chilled out week. It's been hot. It's been very hot. 30 degrees at some points this week. That's cool. I had my last time that I did this was Tuesday, and so I finished Sigmund that I was working on, the Yellow Space Marine. He's totally finished now. He's gone back to his owner. So I've actually got one of my commissions finished, so I'm happy with that. And I had my interview in Nottingham on Wednesday, which it was, I don't know which way it went. I said to them that was my first interview I'd had in 20 odd years of being able to work or whatever. I've never had an interview. I've gone into a job through agencies. And I've just got to wait to see if they give me a call or they send me an email. Just wait and see what happens now. But I felt it went okay. I wasn't putting them to sleep. I was, well, I hope I wasn't putting them to sleep. And I had a little bit of a walk around Warhammer World afterwards. I bought a few bits and pieces, a few models for myself, some books for someone else. And then I had a very long walk back to Nottingham Station because all the trams weren't running. So I had a 2-mile walk to Nottingham Station. 2 miles isn't too bad, but when it's 26 or 27 degrees like it was, it's not the best when you're wearing a black shirt and a jacket. But there you go. Still, I did it. It was a long journey home. 4 hours it took me to get home. Which wasn't fun, but it was okay. And yeah, like I said, I've just got now wait to see what I get back. Yeah, fingers crossed. You never know. But I am back to work tomorrow, so the fun begins again. Yeah. But yeah, apart from that, I've been doing a lot of building. I've not really sat and painted purely because of the weather. I'm not saying, no, it's not purely because of the weather, because I've been lazy basically. So I've not painted much. But I have been building. I've built a lot of Forge World stuff because I've had it sitting there waiting to be built for ages. So I was like, do you know what, I'm gonna get the stuff scrubbed and washed, because you got to do that with Forge World stuff. You got to scrub the resin, get all the release agent off. So So I did that. I've got a massive box of Forge World stuff, of parts that I've just scrubbed. So I've got like my Leviathan Dreadnought, I've got my Contemptor Dreadnought, I've got 20 Assault Marines, I've got 3 different Praetor models for my World Eaters. I scrubbed the Canoptic Sentinel, I think it is, that I bought back in March, and I scrubbed my my Necron Night Shroud Bomber, which is now fully built and sitting on my bed because I have nowhere else to put it at the moment. I'll have to get a new case for it because it's quite a big model. It's not fragile or anything like some Forge World stuff is. It's quite a solid model. So, but I quite want to paint it, so it may stay out on my desk. If I can get these warriors finished, that'll be my reward. I'll paint that. So yeah, so that was basically the week. I mean, the weekend I was at my friend's daughter's christening on Saturday, and it was a good day. There was people there that I had fallen out with, and they didn't interact with me. I didn't interact with them. It was fine. I got to see some old friends and talk to them, which was cool. And had a few drinks, which maybe too many drinks because I don't drink very often. Well, it's not something. Actually, I don't. That's a lie. I drink the odd cider every now and then at the weekend. Probably more so at the moment. But I'm not used to 5 or 6 ciders in a day. So that was more than I'm normally used to. So I was feeling a bit tipsy. But hey, it's fine. So yeah, and Saturday, sorry, still. United played Tottenham in the FA Cup semi-final and we beat them. So United going to Wembley. That was good. I caught the last 7 minutes of the match because I was at the christening, but that's fine. So yeah, it's been an okay week. I was at my club yesterday. I played 5 games, which is quite a lot for a normal club day. 4 Age of Sigma and 1 40k, and I won 1 game. I lost all 4 others, but that's fine. It's not a problem. Age of Sigma I'm still learning, and with each game that I played I realised different rules and abilities for my army that I was forgetting. So come the last game, which was against Moonclan Grots, I think I remembered almost everything. So at which point I then demolished the enemy. So yeah, that was pretty cool. So then we're on to today, and I'm doing my normal painting thing. It's my mum's birthday today, so I wasn't up before she went out today, so I've got her stuff downstairs. She'll be back in an hour or 2, I would assume, unless she's gone out for lunch with her sister, but you never know. Yeah, like I said, back to work tonight, which I'm not looking forward to. I had a text message from one of the guys I work with, some guys I've known for 15 odd years now, and he was saying it was a mess at work. Like the X-ray machine had stopped working again, and yeah, that company needs to sort itself out. It's just such a mess. But I'm not getting worked up before I go back to work. I'm not doing that no more. But we were talking. I was talking to some of the other elders at the club about some stuff in the future and that, and I think we're going to have a lot of events coming up. I mean, fair enough, I don't know with the whole job thing. I don't know if I'm going to be around here all the time. You never know. I could get a job really close by, and still do the clubs on the Monday. Because generally Games Workshops don't open on Monday and Tuesday, so it might not be a problem. But we'll see. Like I said before, I'm not jumping to conclusions. I'm not guaranteed to have a job, so we just have to wait and see. So yeah, it's things seem to be going okay at the moment. And this coming week, like I said, I've got work. I'm hoping to get more painting done. Not on camera, so hold on. That might be a bit better. I'm hoping to get myself some painting done. The last 3 weeks, it's been a combination of being a bit lazy, having other things to do, and not having the motivation. So now I know I've got to get these Warriors painted, and I'm trying to push through. And we'll see. I mean, I think I can get these done in time. So I've got two more vehicles to paint as well. One of them's nearly done. Got to do a modelled base for him as well. But that shouldn't be too bad. It shouldn't be too hard. Generally speaking, when I'm doing my Necron vehicles, they have detailed bases. They have like ruins and stuff on them, and I don't want that one to be any different. That's going to look quite good as well. Plus, because it's quite a heavy model, it needs weighing down a little bit on the base, so it will get some heavy stuff on the base to keep it down, to keep it weighed, because it tilts backwards otherwise. So I've got to stop that happening. I was supposed to have a game with my Necrons yesterday, but my friend from the club, he's had an issue with his foot. He went to the doctors and they put him in an oxygen tent, I think. So hoping he's better soon. And next Monday we've just got another club day. It's a normal club day. I've got a game arranged. Necrons versus Necrons. We'll see how that goes. Yeah, so life goes on, I suppose. Nearly done with the first layer of Ushabti bone on this warrior. Like this paint scheme, I like it. I like how I've done it. It drives me mad. It just takes forever. But it's okay, because that's why I've got other models to get started with if I get fed up with doing this. Like the Dark Oath War Queen, she's practically finished now. I'll do the base, dry brush the texture once it's dry, paint the stone that she's standing on. There's a little like a centipede on there and a skull, which I'll paint them. And then just do the trim of the base and she's finished. I think there'll be other bits. I'll notice bits and pieces that I've missed, but she's tabletop ready, and will probably never get on the tabletop because she was part of a global campaign thing called Malign Portents, and I never played in it, so oh well. But yeah, Games Workshop have announced they've got this weekend coming up. They've got the Chaos Blood Bowl team and the Vansar Necromunda gang, and I want both of them. I might put off getting the Vansar purely because when I was playing Necromunda, my gang was Dilak. They're basically bald men in trench coats. They're like the underhanded gang that they sneak and they plot and they scheme. They were the gang that I went with when I was younger, and I'm going to stick with them, but there's no signs that they're coming out anytime soon. But by what their release schedule, I mean, they released Orlok at the end of the year. Was it end of the year or was it beginning of this year? Either way, it's been about 4 months. So if they're doing 4 months between gangs, and they've only got another 2 to do until they go into new gangs and the Underhive the Outland gangs, which I don't think they'll do them before they hit the original 6. So hopefully it'll be this year that they come out, and I can hopefully push to have some Necromunda at the club. I mean, I love the game purely because you keep track of your gang and you progress and you gain skills and stuff like that. I mean, Shadow War Armageddon was kind of similar, but not in depth enough. Like, you had a bit of progression, but not a lot. And it was a bit frustrating with that. So yeah, Necromunda, I would love to run a Necromunda campaign. Just have a group of, say, 6 people, so 1 of each gang, and yeah, run it for, say, 3 months. Stipulation being that you have to at least get 2 games in a month, so you're only obliged to play 6 games. Obviously, if people want to, they can play more. But like I said, and it would be the tabletop version, it wouldn't be the board game version, or the Zone Mortalis version, or whatever it is. I just like the idea of the Necromunda. I love it. I used to play it a lot when I was a kid, and yes, would like to pick it up again. I know it's changed a bit, but it's still basically the same game. Yeah, but Blood Bowl as well. I mean, Chaos is a team that I wanted to always play, because they were reckoned to be one of the harder teams to play, because you start off with no skills. It's really hard to get rerolls because they're expensive, but yeah, I really liked them. In that box you get 12 players, which 4 of them are Chaos Warriors. I don't think they've actually called it the Chaos Team. They're called the Chaos Chosen or something like that, but I assume they're exactly the same. So you get Beastmen in there, and you get Chaos Warriors. But I do have Blood Bowl teams that I should really get painting. Again, it's just it's a case of having the time to paint them, and the motivation, because at the moment the motivation is quite low. But I've found from talking to people at the club that it's the same across the board at the moment. People aren't really motivated to get painting. I think the weather does it. The weather doesn't help, because you don't want to be sitting sweating your nads off painting in this weather. Like I am. It's not mega hot at the moment, but I could do with having the fan on. But if I have the fan on, you wouldn't be able to hear me, so I'm not having the fan on. So yeah, I've got another like 40 minutes or so before. I'm hoping my battery on my camera actually holds up for the hour, because I forgot to charge it, and it was charging just before I started recording, and I was like, well, if I don't do this now, I probably wouldn't do it today, because I'm going to have stuff to do later. But there you go. So yeah, it's the the hobby scene's looking really good at the moment. We've got the tournament coming up in June, which is a 2-day tournament. I'm considering booking a hotel in Uxbridge. I know it's only really up the road, but it's an hour on the bus, and I'd have to be there for 9 o'clock, so I'd be leaving here at 8. It doesn't sound like late or anything for normal people, but I'm not normal, and I work nights, so getting up so I'm ready to leave here at 8 o'clock, it means getting up at like 6, and that's way too early for me. So still got to book the actual Saturday off, the Friday off, sorry, but it shouldn't be a problem. Well, it shouldn't be a problem for me, but the way the work is, they have to get cover for me because I'm indispensable, apparently. No, I really don't like that. I mean, I'm paid the same as everyone else. I shouldn't be. They shouldn't be having to get cover for me when they don't bother getting cover for anyone else. And then they said, oh, you can't have the holiday if we don't get cover. Well, that's not my problem. I'm entitled to my holiday as much as everyone else. I'm not paid any more than them. So why should I be singled out? Again, not getting into work stuff. I would really love a holiday this year. Well, I've got to get my passport sorted if I wanted to go abroad. The thing is, I want to do a Wargamers retreat. So like we go, a group of people, we go to a lodge or something somewhere, like in the country, and we just go and paint and we play war games. We take a couple of tables with us, not proper tables, like wargaming tables and that, with a bit of terrain. We just go and have some fun, play some games. But I don't know where I'd have to look into for that, and I don't know who'd be interested in it either. Maybe it's something I could look at arranging for later in the summer or even next year, but we'll see. Because yeah, I would just like to be able to go have nothing to do, so that like you're motivated to paint because you've got nothing better to do. That would be ideal for me. I'd have somewhere I could have some music. I could have my iPad on, so there's loads of music on my iPad, and just chill out and relax, music on, and yeah. Because I know they have places that you can do that in America. Valhalla comes to mind and stuff like that, but I don't think there's anywhere like that in the UK. I could be wrong. Might have to look into it. But yeah, just getting away from London life for a little while. I mean, I know I've just had a week off and everything, but I think the only, like, I went to Nottingham, but that was for an interview, so I haven't got away from London for quite a while now. It's like a year. Right, so that's 2 warriors finished, or 2 warriors first layered. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the video quickly. I'm going to go grab a drink and clean my palette, but I'll be back in about a second probably. Okay, I'm back. Just need to grab a drink. So I'm just going to carry on with these warriors. Get some more paint out of my pot. Excuse me. So yeah, I've been organising these big games for the bank holidays. We got the Horus Heresy one coming up on the 7th, and then we've got the Tyranids versus everyone else on the 28th. Sorry, should be a lot of fun. Just need to get people to commit to the Tyranid one. The Heresy one, we're pretty good. We got 4 people aside, and we're about 17,000 points each side, so that should be quite cool. I've got some new Heresy stuff started, so I can bring some new toys to the game. I think I'm bringing about 6,000 points. So yeah, I've got my 3 Predators ready. Well, not ready. They're okay to be played on the tabletop. They're not painted. They may have some paint on them by then, but I should really just carry on with these warriors. And yeah, it's I mean, I've fallen behind with my painting tally for this month. I'm still on course to hit my target for the year, as long as I don't have long periods of not painting later in the year, which it should be okay. I'm only on 6 for this month. Had a bit of a slow month, but we've still got a week to the end of the month, so I should get some more painted by then. Hopefully a good chunk of these warriors. Yeah, having a big sort out at the weekend, because my space had become really cluttered and a right mess. So I had a big sort out. I've compressed stuff into less boxes, so I've made some space for myself. Come across some stuff that I forgot I had. So I actually have 3 Ghost Arcs, Necron Ghost Arcs, which are the transports for the warriors. And yeah, I want to get them painted, but they're glued together, so they're going to be a bit of a nightmare to paint. But it'll be alright. I'll work something out. And they're not your typical, like, just stick troops in it and transport it across the battlefield. Your warriors can regain models through being near them. They're repair barges as well. So yeah, it's quite cool. So I know they're out of stock on GW's website most of the time, because they're a dual kit. They make the Doomsday Arcs as well, which I have 2 of. So I've got 5 of the things now. But it's cool because, like I said, they're different things. The Doomsday Arc is just a big cannon that blows things up, and the Ghost Arc is a transport that repairs my warriors. So yeah, it's cool. I was thinking about doing something a bit different for the tournament. I'm pretty sure I've got my army set that I want to use, and last minute changes will kind of screw my painting schedule up, but we'll see. So basically my army is the Necron Overlord with a Void Scythe, I think it's called. It's a new weapon. And then I've got the Cryptek with a Veil of Darkness, purely to give me some mobility, because my army is quite a slow slogging army. And then I've got a Lord with a War Scythe, just to provide the reroll 1s to wound for the whole army. Well, most of the army anyway. And then we have 7 Immortals, because I could only fit 7 in. We have 5 Death Marks, purely for the what's it called, sniper roll, so I can pick out characters if I need to. and they've been performing quite well, so I'm keeping them in. And 3 destroyers, of which one is a heavy. Excuse me. And the 2 Doomsday Arcs. Now I'm considering splitting the formation so that I could put the Doomsday Arcs and the Heavy Destroyer separately. That'll give me an additional unit, so I'll have 2 kind of fast moving units that can jump around the board and chase objectives, and then it'll give me an extra command point as well if I put them in a separate detachment. So I might do that. That would give me 9 command points, I think. And I think that's pretty cool. Though the two destroyers, I like having them with the Heavy Destroyer purely because they're tough. They got a decent save, and they got 3 wounds each. So that's 9 wounds your enemy's got to get through. And generally speaking, they don't get through all 9 wounds in the squad in one turn. So, and then I end up getting some destroyers back through reanimate. So I don't know. I might keep it as that. I'm not sure. I'll fiddle about with it a little bit. But yeah, they brought out an FAQ last week that brought in a load of new rules and beta rules and stuff, and they're being used for the tournament. So, for example, I can't take 4 choices of the same unit except for troops. So that's fine by me, because the only unit that I've got multiples of is my warriors that are troops, so that's not a problem. And they had you can't deep strike out your deployment zone on turn 1. So anything that has a deep strike rule, if you're deep striking on turn 1, has to come in your own deployment zone. That hurts some armies a lot, but they needed a bit of hurt. They were a very powerful army, so. And my deep striking is in response to other people's deep striking, so I'm quite happy holding them off till turn 2, and then generally they do anyway. So yeah, it's not a problem for me because I'm a reaction deep strike, so that's fine. And then the other thing that I've got is the Veil of Darkness, which is they're already on the table, so they're not counting as a reserve unit, and I can deep strike across the board. But the thing is, I want to hold that Veil of Darkness. I don't want to use it to just teleport a unit across and kill something, unless it's like a warlord who's out by himself, and it's a good sniper opportunity just to deep strike and kill it. I might do that. But it's probably better held for later on in the game, when I can either stop a unit of mine from getting pinned down and killed, which I've used it for before, or for deep striking something onto an objective, either to prevent my enemy from getting it or to help me score points. And that's why the destroyers are helpful as well, because they're 10-inch move. They can move around the battlefield quickly, and they can help grab objectives late on if they're still alive. Generally speaking, if they die early on. Otherwise, they just grind up the battlefield. And they're powerful as well, because their weapons are really strong. So they can kill stuff fairly easily. They're great at taking out Terminators and elite troops. Really good at taking out Custodes, which I found out last week. So yeah, it's I've got 5 or 6 weeks or so to actually work out if I'm going to stick with the army I've got. I probably will. So yeah. But yeah, back to the painting. I'm still doing the layer on this third guy. It's unfortunately the paint scheme that I've got. It does take a while to paint these guys. Excuse me. Yeah, my hay fever's playing up a little bit. The paint scheme is a bit annoying, but I really like the end result, so I'm pushing on with it. And I've painted way too many of these now to change it, so I ain't changing it. So it's number 3 done. And on to number 4. We've got about 20 minutes. I should get all 5 of these based before then, before the hour. I just hope my camera battery holds up long enough. So yeah, like I was saying, the motivation to paint has kind of dropped a little bit of late, and because I'm doing these videos, this is the definite guaranteed time I get to paint, unless something happens. Like when my nephews came round the last few weeks, because of half term and stuff. But in the school holidays, it might be a bit harder to paint unless I can have my nephew painting at the same time. But then I wouldn't be able to do these videos. So yeah. But I think with the motivation to paint, it all boils down to the fact that I was continuously having to move stuff off my desk to paint and off my chair, and then when I'd finished painting I had to put it back on again. It's laziness. It was laziness with me. But I've sorted that now, more or less. I had a good sort out of my room. If you don't know, I sit and paint in my room. It's my space, and I just need to get back to just sitting and painting with music on. I haven't done that for a while because I was generally getting engrossed in some of the mini wargaming videos and stuff like that, which can be a bit distracting sometimes, especially if they're doing live streams. So I need to just music on and paint again for a little while. And once I've got these warriors finished, I need to go through and I'll just pick out some stuff that needs finishing. Get some quick completed models done. And people might see that as a bit of cheating, but it's not. It's not at all. Because at some point, these are all models that I've started painting. Whether I've painted them in one go or I've painted them across the space of a few months. They're all stuff that I've put paint on. And I find that's a good motivator as well. Is when you can't be bothered. Just get some stuff out that like, okay, so if I just do, say like with the Dark Oath War Queen here, to get her finished, you need her base done, and that's it more or less. So I was just like, well, if I just get her base done, it's not going to take too much. I can do it in between doing the warriors. It'll be a model finished. I know it's only one, but it's one more than I had done. I think I've got some Tyrannid Hormigants and Termagants as well that I could just literally blitz through, get them finished. So where I've got these 20 warriors out here, I might put 10 of them away, work on 5, have 5 sitting there waiting, and then have some Tyrannids to work on as well. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. So once I've finished doing this video today, I'm going to put some of these warriors away, because having all 20 sitting on my desk staring at me isn't a good thing. And yes, they stare at me. They're all staring at me. So yeah, if I just have 10, 5 of which have been started, and then I can just knock out a few other bits and pieces as well in between when I get bored of painting Necrons. And yeah, that was what was working for me earlier in the year, and I've kind of moved away from that a little bit, but I think I need to go back to it. I think it will help me a fair bit. And so yeah, I'll get some Tyranids out. I will get some... I'll probably get a Silver Tower character out, because I would really love to paint some more Silver Tower characters. Because I bought some more a couple of weeks ago, and I built them last week as well. So I've got like the Skaven Warlord, the Warden King, I think he's called, the dwarf guy on a stone. So yeah, I've got loads of Silver Tower characters, and I've got monsters as well to paint. So just having a bit of a mixture, I think, is I need to bring that back again, because having these 20 warriors on my desk is just, it seems like a bit of a brick wall. That doesn't make sense to people that aren't painting, but when you've got like a big batch you've got to get done, just having something to break it up a little bit is a good thing. It's almost like if you're exercising, if say the London Marathon was run on Sunday, and so when you're running the marathon, you have a drink, have a break, you have something to break up the fact that you're doing the same thing. And that's why I think the crowd line the streets as well, because it's something different. And to provide a bit of support. This is one thing I think everyone needs when they're painting. If you're sitting and painting in your room by yourself, you need a bit of support from time to time. And yeah, I think it's having someone to spot you, like you would if you were in a gym, someone to bounce ideas off of, is great when you're painting. But that's why Games Workshops are so useful. Like, people don't see them for what they are. Being able to go in there and paint and bounce ideas off other people and have a bit of a laugh and a bit of banter. Like, people take that for granted a little bit, but I think it's so helpful for when you're painting and you want to get stuff done, or if you've got no motivation to paint, just get in contact with your local Games Workshop and book a table for a day, take some stuff up there and just sit and paint. Because when you're in there, I mean, yeah, you can get distracted by chatting or whatever, but generally speaking, talking and painting at the same time isn't a hard thing to do, because look, I can do it. I have been doing it for, this will be number 23 now, so we're coming up to nearly half a year I've been doing this for. So yeah, it's a bit weird. Like, I was really nervous about doing these. I'd wanted to do like a YouTube channel, something like this, for a long time before I started doing it, and now it just feels like something normal to do, you know. And I've been considering doing like a live stream one as well, so you can get other people sit and paint at the same time, and that will depend on if I can get my camera set up so it can be used as a webcam as well as a proper recording camera. I think I can, but I'll have to have a look into that. I'll have to ask some people for a bit of help as well. And then it depends on if my Wi-Fi is any good, which generally speaking it's not. So yeah, But I'm thinking about having a bit of a shift around of how my room's set up anyway, so we will see. So I'm getting quite close to the end of this now. I've got about 10 minutes left, I think. I'm nearly finished this fourth one. When I say finished the layer on this fourth one. These do take me a while. But again, I can plod along and do these. It's not particularly difficult. They're not mega neat either, because they get tidied up later. Which is part of the way I paint, I suppose. Like, it's the end result which matters, not that each stage looks smart. So that's him finished. I'm going to crack on with the fifth one, and I'll call it time after that. Should have enough paint there. Let's water it down a little bit more. Because it is warm, the paint seems to be drying quite, not really quick, but quicker than it should be. And that's obviously because it's liquid. But oh well. And then basically what I do with these are next, I will do another layer of Ushabti bone, because the Ushabti bone is quite a thin pigment, so you do need 2 layers of it. And these guys are shaded with Agrax, I think, or sepia. I can't remember. I'll look at my notes later. So they come out quite dark. Some of the others, they're not shaded, and that I was moving away from the shade because it's a stage that didn't really need doing. Because the Xandri dust provides a deep enough shade for these warriors anyway, which is the base colour. Everything's sprayed Xandri dust. Everything is dust. Yeah, it's just sometimes you don't need a shade. Like, I know in practically every video where people are painting, they apply a shade and stuff like that. You don't always have to. Sometimes the base coat is enough of a shade to provide what you need. So yeah, I when I first started these Necrons, I was doing a shade on them like these guys have. Like, I mean, you might not be able to see too much of a difference. Bear in mind, I've painted this guy's leg a bit, so he's like that, and then this one is quite a bit lighter, and it doesn't really, you can't tell the difference. So yeah, it was just the stage that didn't need doing, so I stopped doing it. And yeah, it's so what I do after this, I think I've painted these on camera before. I must have done, because I know I've painted some recently, more recently than 6 months. I do a second layer of Ushabti bone, just to solidify the bone colour. And then I go over with Screaming Skull to provide the first highlight, and then I edge highlight with White Scar, and that's the bone colours done. And to be fair, that's the majority of the model, is the bone colour. It's like painting Space Marine Power Armour. It's generally one colour, and yeah, it's not too bad. Once I've got the bone done, I can finish 5 or 10 of these in the space of a day, because it's Hawk Turquoise on the shoulders, edge highlighted with Baharas Blue, then it's black on the guns. I don't highlight the guns, they're just black, with blue on the energy parts, and what is it, Calidor Sky on the energy parts, and then Teclis Blue as the highlight. and then I paint the bronze with try and remember the what's it called, Screaming Bell. Screaming Bell is the base colour. Then I do shade that with Agrax or Sepia. I'll have to look into it, I can't remember which one. And then I edge highlight it with Hashunk Copper and Socrox Bronze. Then I dry brush with Golden Griffin, and then I'll just base it. And the base is Agrax, not Agrax, Astra Granite, washed with Nuln Oil, and then dry brushed with Longbeard Grey, and that would be the model. I've just got to do the rim of the base then, which is black, and that would be the model done. It sounds like a lot, but it's not. It's really not. And this one's half done now, so just got his upper body and his arms. Upper body, his arms and his head to do, and that's it. And then I will call time on the video, and while it's uploading I'll go and have some lunch, and then I will hopefully come back and paint some more. But yeah, while it's uploading I'll stick some music on and get some painting done, I hope. Yeah, so I've been watching Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I've had season 2 for quite a while, and I've watched it before, but it kind of bored me before. It was putting me to sleep. And I think that was more to do with the fact that I was tired all the time rather than actually the program was boring. So I'm watching it like one episode at a time now rather than binge watching loads. And it's really good. I mean, I'm on season 3 now. I don't think season 4's on Blu-ray yet. So I'll have to look into that. But yeah, season 3's been really good. I'm about halfway through that now. And I've still got Wonder Woman to watch because I haven't watched that yet. I've had it on Blu-ray now for about a month. I've not watched that yet. But the newer Star Wars, The Last Jedi, is probably my favourite Star Wars film. I really like that. Some people from what I've heard thought it was rubbish, and I don't. I thought it was so good. But each to their own. I've always been one. I've liked films that other people said were rubbish. So yeah, I don't generally follow what everyone else says. And people who know me know that anyway. So yeah, it's yeah. But I've not got. I've got these tournament plans and that, but I've not got no things to look forward to really at the moment. I know a couple of my friends were saying that I should go and visit them and stuff like that. But it all depends. Like I said, with work, they're being knobs, so I'm not able to like just pick and choose when I want my holidays at the moment, or just last minute just book a holiday and go. I can't do that. They won't let me. So I've got to either plan it plenty in advance so they've got time to sort out cover, or I've got to get sort my own cover, which that kind of annoys me a bit because it's not my job to do that. I'm not paid enough to do that. So I'm going to have words at work because I need to book a Friday off next for June so that I can be in this tournament. And depending on how it goes, this may be my one and only tournament. I don't know yet. We'll see. But yeah, it's Work's frustrating. Like, I know everyone's job's frustrating and stuff, but when I'm as badly paid as I am for the job that I do, and then they put them kind of stipulations and stuff on me, it really gets under my skin. But we are at the hour, I believe. Yep, we are about there. So I'm going to call the video there. As usual, thank you if you've sat and listened to my rambling for the hour, or however long you listen to, generally like 10 seconds. Like I said before, you can find me on Instagram as BigFriendlyWarGamer. I am on Twitter, but I can't remember my handle on Twitter. I don't use Twitter very much, to be honest. Yeah, I'm just going to keep pushing on through and painting and doing what I do. Hopefully with a fan on, although it may need dusting a little bit. 'Cause it is getting a bit warm now. And some music on, of course, as well. But thank you very much for listening to my rambling. I am BigFriendlyWarGamer, and I will catch you soon. Goodbye.